Hello, listeners, and welcome to Youth Ventures podcast, PDX Business Spotlight.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Season 5 of PDX Business Spotlight. We are so delighted to welcome Sophia from Salvie Donuts. So Sophia, can you give us an overview of who you are, what your business is about, and how you got started?
Yeah, so I'm Sophia, and my business is Salvie Donuts. How I started, it started off originally on another food truck called Mata, and it was a Vietnamese-American food truck. That food truck, me and my previous business partner, he was Vietnamese, so we used a lot of pandan, and so we created a pandan donut. Once I separated myself from that business, I still kept the donut and just started to incorporate more of my Salvadorian side to it. So I use flavors that I grew up eating or flavors that are very nostalgic to being Salvadorian. And that's how Salvie Donuts was born.
That's really cool. Do you do any other dishes other than donuts?
For now, just donut. Eventually, we're going to have our own coffee being roasted for us with actual Salvadorian beans.
Oh, that's cool.
So we'll eventually incorporate a little bit of coffee just to go with the donuts. But for now, just donuts. I haven't ventured into other desserts quite yet.
Oh, that's still amazing because with such a unique taste, I'm looking forward to trying it.
Yeah.
Who or what inspired you to start your business?
I think in my original starting the Mata food truck, I didn't think that I would be interested in food. But on that food truck, I was in charge of doing desserts. Mm-hmm. So I created the pandan donut, and then we started making also bread. So I really enjoyed making those things.
Yeah.
So through that, I would make bread consistently every week and donuts only on Sundays.
Yeah.
And so I realized I really enjoyed it. So when I stepped away from that business, everyone kept encouraging me to start my own donut business. And at first I didn't know if I wanted to do that, but I was like, I'll just try it. So I decided to just take a leap of faith and do it. And it ended up doing really well. People loved seeing me just making the donuts that they all would eat on our food truck, and they also loved that I incorporated other flavors and new flavors than just the original pandan one.
Oh, that's amazing. Do you still run through a food truck, or do you have a store?
No, me and my business partner, we separated businesses back in August.
Yeah.
So he just does the Vietnamese food, and I do just the donuts. Right now, I do them every other weekend out of a restaurant space.
Okay.
Yeah, so every other weekend on Sundays, I do them from 10 to 1.
That's really cool.
Thanks.
How has being a person of color affected your business?
I don't know if it's affected my business. It's more so opened my eyes to how difficult it can be, because sometimes resources are not really easy to access. And so sometimes it's hard to know what kind of resources are out there for just anybody. Yeah. So really digging deep and talking to people. Sometimes I talk to businesses that have already gone through it, and they give me a lot of advice as far as you should look into this nonprofit or look into this organizations that can probably help you. Sometimes feels like a little bit more work, but I think any business is a lot of work.
Yeah. Is there any specific difficulty that really stood out to you?
I think because in my original business with Mata, we both were not business savvy. I feel like through that, I gained a lot of knowledge as far as, okay, who do I talk to? Where do I look? How do I get help? So all those questions, I feel like I answered them through that first business. And now starting Salvie Donuts, I felt a little bit more prepared. And, obviously having a lot of people who are also business owners, I feel especially here in Portland, it's such a big community of business people that love supporting each other, especially small businesses. And so not being afraid to reach out to people, I think was my biggest takeaway. If you're silent, then nothing will ever come out of it. So just like being able to just reach out to someone and say, hey, how did you do this? Or how did you get your logo? Or how did you get funding for this thing? And like people are willing to help you.
That's amazing that we can build such a community in just Portland.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we're all about, just spotlighting different businesses and creating a community with them.
Yeah. That's kind of something we learned in our first business, and I have always taken that. And then whenever I see a new business, I always try to give them any feedback or just like resources that I found valuable, and just share it.
So have new businesses reached out to you?
I've had businesses reach out to me more so like doing collaborations because they're new and they see that I'm new and they're like, oh, we should do a collab in regards to like a specific flavor, or maybe like bringing back my like bread I used to make to do like a specific sandwich.
Okay.
So yeah.
Are there any specific collaborations that you want to talk about?
As of right now, no, I don't have anything yet. It's
Okay.
kind of still in the works. It's like the beginning of the year. I feel like people are still getting back into the grind.
Yeah, for sure. How has the pandemic affected your business?
Well, I started Salvie Donuts this August, so it hasn't really affected me as much. But in our previous business, it was a little scary. From we didn't know what was happening. We didn't know what was going to happen in the world or to us. So we kind of just took all the precautions. We're just very careful, but at the same time, we're very mindful of the struggles people were going through. So we offered free meals and stuff like that.
Oh, that's amazing.
With my current business, hasn't really been affected by it. Just a slow season, but that's normal because it's winter.
Yeah. Well, the pandemic definitely created like a culture of being more virtual. And do you think that has had impacts on how you do your business?
Oh, yeah. I think people really, like, if I don't post online about, like, my pop-up, I definitely notice that I don't get as much flow of people coming in.
Yeah.
And in particular, like, if I don't post it in a certain time frame or it has to be way ahead of time for it to hit people's algorithms when people are on their phones.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I definitely noticed that. And definitely like engaging more with people because I think people love being online and they love seeing businesses, and so just like being more engaging as far as like returning comments and messages, because people don't realize that sometimes that's like another whole job. Yeah.
Has navigating the algorithm been difficult because it's like pretty unpredictable to like control it?
Yeah, it is. I'm not so into it. So I kind of just tell myself, I'm going to post this on Tuesday at this time, and that's it.
Okay.
I'm not super involved. For the most part, I try to be consistent with my pop-ups, so people at least will always remember, like, oh, okay, she does it every other weekend in the same location.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
And what advice do you have for young entrepreneurs of color, and what experiences could you talk about that might motivate or inspire them?
Yeah, I think I honestly never would have thought that I would have gone into this field in the service industry or even like open up my own business. But I just felt that people believed in me so much that I was like, damn, okay, I should believe in myself as well and just take the leap. So just like listening to your gut, and if you really feel inspired by something, you should just try it. I even told myself, like, oh, well, if I don't like it, then I just close shop and continue on with my life. So, but at least I'll never go through life regretting or thinking about, like, that day, like, wow, I should have done that. Or, you know, I did it, whether I liked it or not. So just taking that leap and going for it.
Yeah, that's great. And what would you say helped you take that first leap?
I think just people motivating me, because they can just, just like, I honestly just was inspired by people telling me how good my product was and encouraging me, like, you should really do your own thing. And sometimes I think, especially as like a woman of color, you get like a imposter syndrome where you just feel like, I don't know if I'm good enough. I don't know if people are going to really like it. You start down talking yourself a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And so learning to not talk to yourself like that and really believing in yourself and believing in what you have. And whether or not it took off, at least I knew, okay, I tried it and people seem to like it, so I'll just keep doing it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Have there ever been times where you've wanted to close your business, and how did you power through those times?
Yeah, there was definitely times where things were really slow.
Yeah.
And I had like a lot of donuts left over, and I was like, man, do people not like these anymore? But it was also the holidays. People were leaving out of town. So you kind of just have to take a step back and really think about, okay, there's so many things happening right now. People can't always make every single pop-up. People are going out of town. It's also the holidays. People are on a budget. And just talking to, if I were in their shoes, I also can't do all my holiday shopping and hit all the markets that were happening that weekend. So just learning that sometimes things will be slow, but not to take it personal. It's just life. And, sure enough, things got better the next month. So, yeah,
That's great. And how can people today, like our listeners and others in the same industry as you, support your business?
Yeah, I think Instagram is great with connecting with everyone. So I have an Instagram page at Salvie Donuts.
Yeah.
And then just coming to my pop-ups and trying out a donut and seeing for yourself.
Yeah, for sure. We'll definitely direct people to your pop-up. And are there any special projects or anything else that you would like to plug?
Let's see. As of right now, I don't have any special projects yet. I wish that I had them already in line, but I don't. So for now, I just do my pop-ups every other Sunday. I'm trying to incorporate more fun flavors for the new year. And, I think the best way is kind of just following me on Instagram for when I do post cool events that might be happening this year or collaborations with people. That's the only way that you kind of will stay in the know.
Okay. Well, thanks, Sophia. It's been an honor. Are there any last things that you want to say about your business or anything else?
I would just say that I really enjoy doing it. The fact that I do it every other weekend. I get really excited when it's the weekend that I have to make donuts. I start thinking of fun flavors to incorporate. So I genuinely love making these. So I love it when people come and support and leave them with a happy face.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
That's it from PDX Business Spotlight, and please join us in the next episode.
Thank you for listening to PDX Business Spotlight by Youth Venture, and we hope to see you in the next episode.